So it seems with summer here, the Nintendo Switch eShop sales are heating up, and today, Untold Tales, they asked me to break down their new publisher sale where nearly all of their games, they come in under $5 or your regional equivalent. Now as always, and today I'm going to be breaking down the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and this is my first time working with them exclusively, which I seriously appreciate. Now if you do enjoy the content, then consider subscribing, and today I have 20 games for you all, starting with Everdream Valley. So as already mentioned, most of the games today I'll be sharing come in under $5, except for Everdream Valley, and it's their latest release. It actually, however, offers two prices, one for new players and then another with an additional 20% off that's going to be for owners of any of their other games. It's a farming adventure sim where you restore your grandparents' once great farm, and this is all taking place during a summer break. Basically, it appears they were in the hospital and things here, they've fallen into disarray. Prepare here for inventory management, farming, construction, caring for animals and some unique mini-games. One standout is by far milking the cow. It is just incredibly weird. For more information, check out my dedicated video in the pinned comment below that goes into all of the details. Arise, a simple story definitive edition, gets 75% off. This one is a puzzle platformer. Now you play in a 3D world and you can control the flow of time, and you'll be accompanying a man on this journey reflecting on his life. It contains just some beautiful sequences and actually moves towards the dreamlike by the end game, but it comes highly recommended from me, and you can see that in my full review in the pinned comment. It is then backed up with a stunning musical score, and yeah, just good stuff, this great emotional adventure. Gamedec Definitive Edition is still on my list to play transparently, though I did spend a small amount of time now with it. I know SwitchUp did make a brief comparison to Disco Elysium with a few of the mechanics, and I can definitely see that in the isometric viewpoint, but the story here, we are a digital detective investigating a number of cases across different VR landscapes. There's no combat in here, it's all about using brain power, and it's definitely a nice discount then here with 83% off. The Hong Kong Massacre is a personal favourite, a top-down twin-stick shooter that incorporates elements of Think Hotline Miami, so one-hit kills, and then John Woo-styled acrobatics. Now the idea is simple, dodge in slow motion to not get killed, while slaughtering everyone around you in a story of revenge as you set out to uncover the secret of your partner who was killed. Looks and runs well. The only things I didn't like all of that much of these sequences of jumping across rooftops, and a few boss encounters that feel a little out of place. It's 90% off then, and my full review is in the pinned comments. Tools up will be for the party game fans. The best comparison here would be Overcooked, but this is of the home decorating variety. Now it supports up to 4 players locally, and it's the idea of working together to complete tasks, but this quickly evolves into family arguments, or at least that was the experience for me. It's become a well-loved genre recently though, with good reason, and there's also a ton of paid DLC for this one which expands the game, such as think a gardening spin. It is then 80% off. Blazing Beaks is a bit of a classic for fans of the roguelite genre. This one puts you in the role of a bird with firepower and asks you to overcome the world and the packed-in boss encounters. What makes this good though, like most of the genre entries, is there's tons of reasons to go back. Think randomly generated levels, new loot drops, challenge modes, multiplayer options, a story, daily challenges, and the list goes on. What makes it truly unique, however, is the idea of artifacts, the loot. The more you get, the more you suffer, so you need to acknowledge the risk to reward aspect of what's ahead of you. It's easy to see the love for this one though when you dive into reviews, and it's currently 86% off. Flamekeeper is another roguelite. I enjoyed this one, a bit more of a recent release. I actually believe there's more content still to come as well. The ending is essentially a cliffhanger currently, but the action packed in here is solid. Now the idea, you need to restore light to this world and you are a call on a mission. This world is overrun basically with darkness that needs destroying, and yeah, the controls here are solid, putting you at an advantage. Along this journey though, expect to upgrade your character, and then you'll need to balance energy to restore a camp in the world. The problem is this energy is also your health meter, so you need to be careful about what you are transferring back. That's a really unique and interesting spin. Right now then, it is 58% off. Badland Game of the Year Edition gets 66% off. I'm a big fan of Untold Tales' entire library, but this one here is high up on my list. It won multiple awards over the years, hence the Game of the Year plug in the name. and it packs a ton of content. An action-adventure game, it's got this stunning hand-painted look to it all, and you're investigating a problem with the forest, though things do initially seem fine. The controls feel fantastic here. It's a great game then as well for handheld play, and it supports both co-op and battle options for up to 4 players. To give you an idea of just how much content is in here as well, it makes for 100 single player levels, 100 co-op levels, and 23 battle levels. It even has built-in achievements for the completionists out there. Dex is a 2D action RPG that blends together exploration, dialogue, and combat, which kind of almost feels like, think, old school brawler. Now, I will admit the combat took a little while to pick up. I found it incredibly challenging, but I love this world, a cyberpunk location that has you on the run from some sort of mysterious organization that wants to steal, let's call it, your unique abilities. What surprised me further though was the size of this world. It is absolutely massive at points, and yet overall it is good stuff. It is well worth the time, and right now it is 90% off. Aspire Ina's Tale then is a puzzle platformer that sets you out on a journey of self-discovery. Here we were trapped inside a tower asleep, but now we have awoken and we must get out while uncovering the truth behind our imprisonment. Now along this journey, it's a combination of puzzles to solve, platforming, and then meeting a few of the locals. A big mechanic here then is the ability to control what's called spirits. They will kind of be a driving force in our escape as we leverage them to our advantage. This one then is 84% off. Golf Club Wasteland is arguably one of the best soundtracks on the system because it not only backs up the gameplay, but it's presented as a radio show which kind of tells the story of this world. Now the basic idea here is we destroyed Earth and the rich they left, but now they do come back to Earth to play golf around the landscape. The gameplay has some unique locations, and I did review it on the channel, find that in the pinned comments. My big problem with this game was I wish there was a visual representation of where the golf ball would be hit. Right now then it is 80% off. Beautiful Desolation actually comes from members of the original Fallout team, but do not let that deceive you given the similarities in its visual design. This is actually an adventure game that sees you transported to a futuristic alien world, and you must figure out what is basically going on. Things change here with the decisions you do make. You'll need to explore then, and you'll also need to negotiate. It's got a very cool style to it all of this one, and it packs in an 80-page art book as well as a free download of the soundtrack. It's 90% off then. It is well worth a look for genre fans. Just know it's going to be a bit of a slower burn, and really the mystery is the focus. Splatter Zombiecalypse now is 75% off, and this is for those that want all-out action. A top-down shooter, it's got a film noir style, and you may have guessed it from the name. You're going to be battling it out with zombies and a variety of other monsters. It packs destructible environments though, which is always going to be a good thing to kind of keep that action going. There's a single-player story as well as a survival mode, and then there is a ton of weapons to leverage. It also packs some challenging boss encounters, and it supports up to 4 players. Atone Heart of the Elder Tree was quite a recent release for them as well, and this one has some stunning visual design. The gameplay is also unique. It's a blend of story, puzzles, and then rhythm-based combat. And the idea the gods have abandoned this world, and we must uncover the truth behind the evil that is washing over the land. Now, it's all based around Nordic lore, which I absolutely love, and it is going to be well worth a look if, like me, you enjoy a good story. The puzzles and the combat as well are good fun, and then it is 87% off. What Lies in the Multiverse is now 86% off. It's another game I reviewed on the channel. You can find that in the pinned comment below. This one's a clever little puzzle platformer that incorporates alternate realities. I absolutely loved it. You'll be navigating through these different locations, and there's basically dual versions of this world that you can jump between. This will allow you to overcome different obstacles, think like poison or gravitational differences. It is challenging, but enhanced then with adult-orientated humour, and our companion, an almost mad scientist character, is absolutely fantastic. Red Wings is just a quick mention, then I think you're going to know if this one is for you. It's an arcade flight action game where you will tackle a number of different World War I battles. This one, it's all about the Red Baron and a battle for victory, and it even received a solid follow-up. I love the visual style with this one though. The combat and the flight mechanics feel great, and it's currently 90% off. Little Racer then is a top-down racing experience where it keeps things simple, meaning anyone can play it, simple controls, simple layouts. Really though, you're coming here to choose a car and then facing off against one of the 130 packed in levels, but along the way expect to unlock new cars, achievements, and again you can play solo or with friends. It even has a track creator option which extends the experience indefinitely. This one then is 80% off. Space Cows for sure wins best name for a game in today's video, but transparently I haven't played this one myself, so I will be checking it out. Now it's a twin stick shooter that throws you into outer space, and it appears it's full of toilet humor, considering basically we leverage a futuristic weaponized toilet plunger, and we can use skills such as farting ourselves away from harm. Now if you have played this one, let us know in the comments what you think, but it even promises to pack in as well a few different mini games. It also released a good while back now to 2019, and it's here then with 75% off. It Came From Space and 8 Our Brains gets 85% off then, and this one's a top-down arcade shooter where you need to attempt to save the world, but at a minimum save yourself. Now again, it features co-op support, and it's a pretty simple concept. I mean, the name tells you it all, really, blow aliens up. But expect here 6 missions with support for up to 4 players, a slew of weapons and different abilities, and then a techno soundtrack, which I didn't expect, but it doesn't get too crazy. It just kind of plays into the sci-fi nature of the experience. Lumberhill then is our final game, and this one's a multiplayer experience much like Tools Up and Overcooked, where you and up to 4 players locally or online battle against the elements and all sorts of craziness to basically win and succeed. Think your role being here basically one of, chopping down trees for progression, but the world has just other ideas, animals escaping that you must chase, meteors falling, even dinosaurs appearing. It will go to places you will not expect, but it will for sure deliver an experience at the same time that will either have you laughing or, of course, my own experience, that is arguing. It's here then with 85% off. And that is the video down. What will you be checking out from this sale? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you do want to see all of these deals, I've pinned a link to the eShop in the comments below that will bring up Untold Tales' entire library. So with that then, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.